In today's video, we're focusing on my favorite cosmetic mods for the MK7 Golf. My goal of this one was to maintain that OEM look, but add a little something to the style of the car. So I've handpicked a few of my absolute favorite mods, and I'm going to cover them in today's video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you do, please subscribe and like for more content like this. Let's dive in. Let's kick off with one of my favorite things you can do to your MK7, lighting. Now, the GTI comes with LEDs in most places from factory, but there's a few areas you can improve. If your car doesn't already have LED plate lights, definitely worth doing. They look so much better than the original yellow plate lights. It makes the car look dated and old, so super easy to install, highly recommend. But one of my favorite exterior lighting mods is the sequential LED mirror indicator. You've got two options here. You can get the smoked version, which is just like a tinted darker version, or the clear version, which looks OEM. Personally, I really like the clear ones because they do give you that OEM look, and they don't look like some random aftermarket part you've just stuck on the car. They actually look like something, you know, Volkswagen would have put on the car from factory. So very nice mod. And you can pair those with some nice black mirror caps, or if you want to go fancy, get some carbon fiber mirror caps, and it looks super nice. So they're probably one of my favorite easy exterior mods overall. Now, for one of my favorite mods you can do to the MK7, get a set of sequential Euro style taillights. I absolutely love the look of these taillights, and the second I bought the car, I knew I had to have these lights on the car. I've covered these a few times on the channel, but I genuinely think they completely change the back of the car. You get sequential indicators, so they give you much more of that Golf R and TCR sporty appearance. And if you buy the ones I got, you also get this super cool startup animation. And that's something you don't even get from the factory light. And I went ahead and paired these lights with a nice TCR diffuser just to finish that look. And I gotta say, the installs for both of these things were very straightforward. Let's move into the interior, the paddle shifter. I bought a few different types of paddle shifters just to experiment and find which ones I liked best. Now, the first ones I purchased were these $15 ones from AliExpress, and they're basically a replica of Racingline's $300 ones, and they're exactly the same, and in fact the fitment was actually slightly better, so I put those on and those were great. Now recently I discovered you can buy Mk8 style paddle shifters that kind of retrofit into the MK7, and these are the ones I've ended up keeping on the car. They feel absolutely fantastic, they feel very premium, and again it feels like something Volkswagen would have put on the car from factory. And because they're slightly larger than the original paddles, you're actually getting more leverage on the paddle, which is actually functional benefit from these paddle shifters. So I'd highly recommend any of these choices. One of my favorite mods has to be this Audi RS style GTI Shift Knob. This thing looks incredible. It fits right in. It feels like it was literally meant to fit on a Golf. And the overall quality and feel of the Shift Knob is just so much better than the factory DSG one. I never really liked the whole DSG thing on the factory shifter. I wanted it to say, you know, GTI, since the GTI, I think that's class. And this thing just looks so much better anyway. Now, if that's a little outside your price range, there's another option I actually did before upgrading to this. You can just replace your factory DSG shift trim, but you basically have to destroy your original shift trim to get it off, click in the new trim, but you're able to fit the TCR style trim, which will give you that red line through it. And you could also pair that with a new leather shift boot, and that's a really cheap way of upgrading the interior and refurbing it at the same time. Moving into the rear of the car, we have one of those mods that isn't necessarily going to make you go, holy shit, that's cool, but it is something you'll actually use. It gives your rear passengers somewhere to charge their phone, which is practically useful because the car doesn't give you a huge amount of USB ports to begin with. Now, the installation for this one is a bit more involved. You do have to pull apart a fair amount of your interior to run the wire through, but it's not very difficult all around. And if you regularly have passengers in the back, I definitely recommend doing it. It's a great mod to do. Now, moving on to a few miscellaneous mods that I think are worth mentioning. First up, we've got the dead pedal upgrade. It's a pretty simple one. You're just replacing that cheap plastic pedal you've got with something that looks much more premium and gives you that OEM plus appearance. You've also got black badges, both inside on the steering wheel of the car, and in the exterior you can get front and rear black badges. Really simple mod, but it makes the car look a lot cleaner. Another small one is the Mark 8 style key. It's a very small upgrade, but it makes the key feel a bit more premium than the standard one. And I know not a lot of people like the Mark 8 key design, but I thought it was worth mentioning anyway. Then you've got the door projector lights. These replace the boring reflector lights you get from factory with an actual light, which will have the VW logo or GTI logo, Golf R logo. There's a lot of options here. You can even get just plain white if you just wanted to light up the floor, which is a really cool touch at night. Now these do require a wiring harness and some coding, which brings me to my next mod. OBD11. OBD11 is honestly one of the best things you can have for these cars. There is so much coding and customization you can do, from changing your instrument cluster theme to enabling different features and making small changes to how the car behaves. And if you're installing things like door projector lights, you'll need something like this to code them in. It's basically one of those tools that you didn't realize how useful it was until you had one. And finally, we've got the wireless CarPlay adapter. This one's incredibly simple. It plugs into your MIP unit, lets your phone connect to CarPlay wirelessly, so you don't have to plug your phone in anymore. And it works about 90% of the time, but there's always that 10% where you want to rip your hair out. But if you buy a decent quality adapter, it's a really worthwhile upgrade. So these are a few of my favorite miscellaneous mods I've done to my GTI, and I'm sure I've missed a few mods here. So if there's a mod you think I should have included, please drop it in the comments, and thank you guys for watching.